begins again. I have some scrolls that I'll ask folks to read. Again, if you'd rather not, please let me know, or Daniel. So if we could have scroll 1, please.
The notion of terra nullius, which is in Latin means empty land, it gave a colonial nation the right to absorb any territory encountered by explorers.
Thank you. If the land was deemed empty by the settler government, it was considered subject to the doctrine of discovery and could be claimed by European explorers. Over time, this concept was conveniently expanded to include lands not occupied by civilized people or lands not being put to civilized use. And civilized in that context meant agriculture and Christian. Scroll number 2, please.
The British North American Act, the BNA, also known as the Constitution Act of 1867, put Indians and land reserved for Indians under the control of the federal government.
Thank you. So the BNA was drafted in part to provide policy teeth for Sir John A. Macdonald's announcement that Canada's goal was to do away with the tribal system and assimilate Indian people in all respects with the inhabitants of the Dominion. The Act specified how Aboriginal people were put under the protection of the Crown, and it provided the legal base for the treaties, and it emphasized the government's central priorities of assimilation, enfranchisement, and civilization. The Indian Act, scroll number 3, please.
All laws respecting Indians were first consolidated into the Indian Act in 1876. It is still in force today and was last updated in the 1980s.
Now hear this. According to the Indian Act of 1876 and the British North America Act of 1867, you and all your territories are now under the direct control of the Canadian federal government. You will be placed on reserves. Please fold your blankets in half.
The Indian Act